The problem is, I see a righteous brother, or I'm told about a righteous brother. And this happens, and it's very irritating. You deem him his righteous brother. He comes to the halaqat. He is good in his Islam. And then suddenly he tells you, or you're told of, that he was in one of these ceremonies. And what's his justification? He's there under the pretext of da'wah. Now you ask the brother, why did you go to that wedding? Why did you go to that ceremony? Why were you in the middle of that evil that you really didn't have to go to? Da'wah. The answer is da'wah. Okay. Did you speak there, then leave immediately? You can possibly understand that. Did you speak and immediately head out of there? No. Did you stop them? No. Did you even talk there? No. In reality, you think because you have the overall appearance of someone who's religious, whether it may be because one has the beard or whatever it may be, and that your wife is a muhajjaba, and you take her there, and then you assume merely because of your presence that you're there for da'wah. That's the shaitan playing with your mind. قُلْ هَلْ نُنَبِّئُكُمْ بِالْأَخْسَرِينَ أَعْمَالًا الَّذِينَ ضَلَّ سَعْيُهُمْ فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا وَهُمْ يَحْسَبُونَ أَنَّهُمْ يُحْسِنُونَ صُنْعًا. There's people who think they're doing righteous, and in reality it's evil that they're doing. They think they're doing it under the pretext of da'wah, but in reality it's not good what they're doing. You don't go to those places claiming da'wah. That's our point. You don't go to places of sin and claim da'wah unless you're there to stop it. You can't be present in those places unless you're there to guide them, unless you're there to stop it. If they're listening to you, if you have influence over them, if you can talk them out of it, go there, and you must and you should go there. Part of the ordaining the good and forbidding the evil is that those who do those kind of sins should be the outcasts. And they shouldn't be the type of people who are looked up to. Today we get brothers who are struggling to start off their marriage life on the Quran and the Sunnah. Sometimes it's the bride. She calls, I have this in my traditions, and some traditions that don't conflict with the Quran and the Sunnah. We're not going to talk about that, but there's traditions that are conflicting with the Quran and the Sunnah. Those belong under our feet, no matter what they are. The Quran and the Sunnah has precedent over everything. You see those who as a bride, or a young man who's trying to get married, and he is facing a struggle to try to have his marriage in the right way, for example. That one is the outcast, and he's the stranger. It's not the other ones who are in the sin that are the outcasts and the strangers. You see what I mean when I say it's widespread? Don't ever engage in such matters under the pretext of da'wah. The same scenario applies when, for example, you see a sister. I go visit universities with improper hijab, what they call hijab, and the attitude in a university, standing before a table with a bunch of leaflets, and you ask, what is exactly she doing? Oh, she's doing da'wah table, brother, this week. You go da'wah in that manner? You have to know how to give da'wah. You don't engage in a sin in giving da'wah. And you don't go in a place where it's sinful and you give da'wah, unless you're there to stop it. Likewise, those who give da'wah under the platform in the banner of interfaith. They claim that that's da'wah. They claim under the platform, why are you in interfaith? Why are you going under the banner of interfaith? Oh, da'wah, brother, these are the people of the book, we got to give them da'wah. There's something called da'wah, which we're all for. And we're all for da'wah. And there's a principle of kufr called interfaith. Interfaith is a principle of kufr. If you don't know about it, you need to go study it. It's kufr on top of kufr. It's the aspect of kufr, interfaith. You don't go under the banner of interfaith, giving a talk or a participant in such organization, and they say, oh, I was there for da'wah. You go do da'wah under the banner of da'wah, or under a neutral banner, not under the banner of interfaith. The point of all this is that you don't mingle with sinners in Cry Dawah. I mentioned some of this in a question and answer a while ago when I was asked about marking Muslims. And I mentioned the verse of Allah, وَقَدْ نَزَّلَ عَلَيْكُمْ فِي الْكِتَابِ أَنْ إِذَا سَمِعْتُمْ آيَاتِ اللَّهِ يُكْفَرُ بِهَا وَيُسْتَهْزَأُ بِهَا فَلَا تَقْعُدُوا مَعَهُمْ حَتَّى يَخُوضُوا فِي حَدِيثٍ غَيْرِهِ إِنَّكُمْ إِذًا مِثْلُهُم. When marking goes on, don't sit with them. Why? Allah says, إِنَّكُمْ إِذًا مِثْلُهُم. That applies to marking, but it applies to other sins as well. Okay, that's the point that we wanted to cover, our first point.